October 15th, 2012. Well, it's time for the oil news. Let's head right over to the board. Alright, Californians are now being warned that last month's price increase in gasoline that we saw, where it went all the way up to $5 and then back down a little bit, the next spike in gasoline prices aren't going to be 50 cents. They're going to be a $1.50 increase. So we're going to be seeing $6 and $7 a gallon for gas sometime this week or next week. Why are we seeing this spike? One of the problems with using ethanol is that you have to take food production and turn it into fuel production. And that comes to our next article. The UN warns of food crisis by 2013. U.S. food reserves are down to 6.5%. Why is that? We have a drought and we're using what used to be food land for fuel land. In other words, we're making biofuels so that California can still drive their cars and not have to put in mass transportation or live closer to their work. I'm afraid there's a lot more bad news as far as food for next year. Let me show you what I mean. Okay. $870 million people are now malnourished. Warning, newspeak word. Again, 870 million people are malnourished around the world. Middle East and Africa, surprise, surprise there. Where do you think we're droning and where all the wars are being fought these days? Malnourished, let's look at that word. That's a newspeak word that's being put out there. If the bankers were in the same situation, they wouldn't be calling themselves malnourished. They would be saying they were starving. Wheat production is below 2011's wheat production by 5.2% worldwide. If one event, such as a drought, flood, hurricane, or severe tornadoes, wipes out as much production as was wiped out this year, the world will start to starve to death. And we'll see if the word malnourished sticks around for very long. I don't think so. These are really pretty daisies, very bright blue, much more purple than the camera's showing you. They're showing them as being blue. These are really purple. Food prices so far have risen 6%. We're close to record levels when last year we had all the food riots. The experts are saying get ready for much higher food prices. We're entering an era of extreme food prices which will only get higher and higher the more mouths we put on the planet. The population is growing exponentially now at 3 babies per second. We're on a finite planet. Where are we supposed to put so many people? You know, the planet can sustain 1 billion. We're at over 7 billion. We keep hearing that there's no problem from so many, that we have all this natural gas that we've discovered and we're going to exploitate. The only problem with that is the more carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases you put in the atmosphere, the worse the situation becomes and the harder it is to grow food. And with the population growing ever faster every single day, I don't see how we're not going to hit the wall hard. I think we're into a hit the wall scenario at this time. And with that, it's very foggy today, but let's go up and look at barges in San Francisco Bay to see what the supply looks like of oil and gasoline for northern, central, and southern California and parts of Oregon. Alright, we've made it to the barges in the bay, and as you can see it looks pretty clear, doesn't it? Oops, I've got you in the sun. But over here I bet it looks pretty clear, but I'm going to show you what it looks like in the bay, and I've waited for a lot longer than I usually record this, and it's still, I unfortunately cannot see a single barge in San Francisco Bay, but let me show you what I'm seeing. So there's no barges in San Francisco Bay today. Alright, the next thing I want to talk to you about is the UN's continuing on this food crisis. The UN is saying that most of the crisis will be caused when people start hoarding food. Well, now I bet you that they themselves will hoard some food when it comes down to crunch time. Who's not going to hoard food? If next year, you know, if in a few months or 7 months it's looking like we're all going to start to starve to death, aren't you going to immediately start going into a program of getting as much food as you can? Even though it's a you know, you're fighting a losing battle, what other choice do you have? All right, what's Brent Crude doing today? Okay, on this hot afternoon, Brent Crude started at 114.5. Immediately went down to 114. Then decided to just do the dribblies, and I mean dribblies. It was almost on a straight line. Then it shot up to 114.5, did more dribblies. Then suddenly it got something up at somewhere and went all the way up to 115.5 and went back to dribbling. Then it sank all the way down to 113, which at that time it then skyrocketed right back up to 115.5. Who can figure that one out? And let's go down and check out and see if gasoline has gone up, down, or stayed the same. The expensive gas station. Inexpensive gas station. A lot of times weird stuff happens when you're out filming, out videoing, recording a video. I just had another situation where I was recording the morning glories, and a lady came around the corner with the dog, and she let the dog start sniffing me and rubbing up against me while I was shooting a video. Not uncommon. For the people that shoot video, you know what I mean, if you do it outside anywhere. People just don't seem to have a clue anymore, do they? I mean, really. There's a friend of mine down here, very moody. Don't know if this friend will talk to us or not, but let's look. Oh, look who's here. Huh? Oh yeah? Oh, let me get close up to you then. What? Do you like talking? Huh? What? Oh, really? Are you gonna eat some grass and throw up? Huh? You want to throw up? So you're eating some grass, huh? Oh, look at you. Oh, look at you. See, these cats think they own the whole world. No, they'll fight each other to control. Look at that big gouge out of the top of his head. Well, thank you for the visit. We'll see you next time, huh? Yeah? Oh, look at that face. Oh, look at that tail going. Oh, what? Oh, where'd he go? He's had enough. So, until next time.